Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, my sweet babies. It's Destin Choice. So today I'm going to be fucking up my crab legs with my beloved sauce. While I talk about this whole situation involving Gina Rodriguez and can white people say the N-word, can the Latin community say the N-word, can anybody who ain't black say the N-word. So long story short, first I want to get into this. Oh, by the way, y'all got on my copper bracelet. Make sure y'all get a copper bracelet on Amazon. It has a lot of health benefits. You know, you get to absorb it through your skin. Promotes anti-aging and skin health. Anywho, so yeah. The reason why I want to do this fucking video was specifically because Gina Rodriguez, in case you guys didn't know, recently went viral. And if you guys don't know who the fuck Gina Rodriguez is, God bless your fucking heart. She's basically this coon bitch who's a very talented and successful actress. Gina Rodriguez is from the show Jane the Virgin. She was also in a very popular Netflix movie called Philly Brown.
I think it's hot.
Yeah, your verses are hot. We need a naughty hook. The clubs, they like to shake that ass. We gotta make them shake that ass.
I don't know about that.
Daddy, will you lick me down? You need to like adjust. Do you feel sexy? What you got
I
going?
feel cool. I'm good.
You good? Do from the top. Daddy, will you lick me down?
Daddy, will you lick me down? Every time I come around, you want some of Philly Brown?
I think they want some Philly Brown.
And she's a very well-established actress. She even has a Golden Globe. So she's very solidified herself in the game. Now, long story short, a lot of people don't like Gina Rodriguez because she has a very nasty attitude. And her mouth is pretty much reckless.
Remember, she did an interview alongside another young actress by the name of Yara Shahidi. And Gina did talk through most of the interview, but the interviewer did take a moment to compliment Yara and just praise her for being a young black woman in Hollywood that young black girls could look up to. And Gina felt the need to interject and take her moment.
You are just goals for so many young black women who just look up to
So many women. So many women.
So many women. Yeah, for women too, but for black women, we need people on a whole nother level.
Now, there was another thing that Gina was called out for, and it's when she talked about the different pay grades between minority women and white women. And this is what she said.
Where white women get paid more than black women, and black women get paid more than Asian women get paid more than Latino women. And it's like a very scary space to step into. Recently being faced with being offered a project where my fellow actress was offered it prior, and she tells me how much she was getting paid for it. And then I ask for the same amount, and they say no, because you're not worth that much.
Now, pay inequality in Hollywood is a big issue, especially amongst women of color. But I do find it interesting that Gina said that, you know, white women, black women, and Asian women all get paid more than Latino women. But if you look at the highest paid actress on TV, who happens to be a Latina named Sofia Vergara, she gets paid the highest out of all of her counterparts.
Not even that, she faced a lot of controversy because when the movie Black Panther came out, and y'all know how much of a big deal Black Panther was to black people, she put out a tweet saying, Marvel and DC are killing it in inclusion, and women, but where are the Latinos? Asking for a friend. So she released this tweet because she feels like there's not enough diversity for Latinos, even though Latinos have their own platforms where they get the most diversity, but they only offer diversity to Latinas that look like her and that look like white people. But Afro-Latinas, they don't get any representation, but that's another thing. So Latinas like Gina get so much representation. They have Telemundo, then they have a whole bunch of telenovelas full of white people. But anyways. So, in case you guys didn't know, recently, the actress Gina Rodriguez went on her Instagram story, and she was singing the song from Lauryn Hill and the Fugees, and she basically, I'll just show you the video. This is why everybody's pissed off.
Voodoo, I could do what you do, believe me. Niggas give me heebie-jeebies, believe me. Niggas give me heebie-jeebies. Niggas give me heebie-jeebies. Niggas give me heebie-jeebies.
Yikes. This little ugly ass bitch looked directly at the camera too, and she giggled at the end.
Niggas give me heebie-jeebies.
So I'm sure she knew what the fuck she was doing was not okay. So then she followed that up with an apology, and this is what she had to say, and it was just the most bullshit apology ever. Like, you could tell she wasn't genuine about how she felt.
I just wanted to reach out and apologize
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended anyone by singing along to the Fugees, to a song I love that I grew up on. I love Lauryn Hill, and I really am sorry if I offended you.
So, in my opinion, the bitch deserved to get fucking dragged. She deserved the backlash. Oh, almond milk. Make sure y'all stay away from dairy milk. Only drink almond milk. Fish oil pill. Turmeric. Vitamin D pill infused with coconut oil. Oh my god. I feel skinny already. But anywho, so Gina Rodriguez stirred a lot of controversy because a lot of people were just like, bitch, you're Latina. You cannot say the N-word. It's not okay for you to say it. Why do you want to say it? So then, due to her getting dragged for that bullshit apology, she released another apology. And she wrote a long-ass note saying this.
This time going into the notes app and saying, in song or in real life, the words that I spoke should not have been spoken. And adding, the word I sang carries with it a legacy of hurt and pain that I cannot even imagine. Whatever consequences I face for my actions today, none will be more hurtful than the personal remorse I feel. Watching my own video playing back at me has shaken me to my core. It is humiliating that this has to be a public lesson, but it is indeed a much-deserved lesson.
Now, a lot of people still feel like she's full of shit. Even I feel like she's full of shit, because in my personal opinion, if you're sorry, you're going to mean it the first time. There's no way in hell someone's going to apologize for some dumb shit, not mean it, and then mean it a couple hours later. Like, it just doesn't make no sense. So long story short, she's getting a lot of bullshit because a lot of controversy was stirred. Because you know how people feel about the N-word. I don't even have to break it down to you. You know, the N-word stems from slavery. If you ain't black, you shouldn't say it. Now, don't get me wrong. I say nigga all fucking day. And I'm guilty of giving people the nigga pass. I'm very guilty of it. And I'm sure most of y'all are guilty of it too. So long story short, do I think white people, Latinos, Latinas, Asians, Indian, do I think they can say the N-word? Yes, I think you can say it. Why? Because freedom of speech, you can say whatever the fuck you want. It's your mouth. Do what the fuck you want with it. But I don't think it's fair for if a white person says the N-word and they try to criticize it. Because I've seen on numerous occasions, whenever a white person tries to defend themselves saying the N-word, they say, no, 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 nigger is offensive. Nigga isn't offensive. It means I'm your friend. If I say nigga, it means I'm friend. Nigger is the slur. And I'm like, how the fuck are you going to tell me or a black person what the fuck we should and shouldn't find offensive? And I remember I was watching a YouTube video where basically it was a social experiment. They asked a whole bunch of black people and Latinos, do they think Latinos can say the N-word? Because a lot of Latinos have the mindset of, oh, I'm Latino, I'm not white, so technically I can say it. I don't know where the fuck that logic comes from. But anywho, that video stirred up a lot of controversy, and I recommend y'all watch it. But long story short, most people said no, Latinos shouldn't say it. And I saw a lot of Latinos dragging the fuck out of people in that video, saying, well, if that's the case, one person commented this stupid ass shit. One person commented, well, then if that's the case, if us Latinos can't say the N-word, then tell Drake to stop calling himself Poppy. Here's my main question. For every white person and Latino, I don't mind if you say the N-word. Say nigga all you want. As long as you ain't saying, oh, you little stupid ass nigga, go eat some watermelon, go pick some cotton. Because if you say that shit to me, then I'm going to punch you in the fucking face. But other than that, I don't care who the fuck says it. I'm just saying that you shouldn't get mad at the backlash you get because it comes with the territory. The N-word has such a nasty history that, in my opinion, I feel like no one should be saying it. I know a lot of black people have the mindset of, nah, it's our word. In my opinion, I don't think anyone should say it if they're going to get mad at other people saying it. Because as black people, we are the trendsetters. We've always been the trendsetters. From modern medicine, black people play a role in human civilization all over the fucking world. If it weren't for black people, human civilization wouldn't be as big as it is today. And the world has always tried to eradicate and kill and shun black people, but we are the trendsetters. Without black people, there'd be no rock and roll, there'd be no soul food. Without black people, there'd be no seasonings. Without black people, there'd be no traffic lights. Without black people, there wouldn't be a lot of things. Black people play a role in modern medicine, style, culture. Without black people, the world would be fucking boring. So we as the trendsetters, I feel like if we stop saying the N-word, everybody else will stop saying it. Now, when it comes to the N-word, I see it like this. I feel like it's not okay to give people the black card. I've given people the nigga card, not like, oh yeah, you can say it, but I've let it slide. I'm not saying I gave somebody the nigga card as a, oh no, go ahead, you can say it, you're good. For me, it's a, if you say it, I don't care. Like, I mean, that's just you. But you know, at the end of the day, some people might not be okay with it. But if you want to say it, go ahead. I mean, I don't care personally because it don't bother me. It doesn't bother me when someone uses the N-word. If you're not using and you're using nigga, I just don't care because it's so popping and popular in culture now that people don't keep the same fucking energy. Cause let's be real here. Some of y'all have given the nigga pass and haven't said shit. Some of y'all have give people the nigga pass and haven't even realized it. Some of y'all might say, well, I've never give somebody the nigga pass. Oh, you sure about that? Cardi B says nigga all the time. Because I hear people all the time reciting her lyrics. And I'm quick. Cut a nigga off, so don't get comfortable. She ain't black. And also people gonna say, Cardi B is black. Look at Cardi B's hair. Look at her nose. Okay, well look at her parents. Do her parents look black to you? In my personal opinion, if you don't have black parents, you are not black. Period. If you're mixed, you're mixed. I think Cardi B does have some black in her. But having black in you doesn't make you black. In my eyes, black is a culture. And if you're looked at as black in society, you're black. When people see me, you know, they don't say, oh yeah, that's a person that's mixed with white and that's a person that's mixed with, no. Like they see my hair, my nose, my lips, my skin color, I'm black. The first thing people see when they see me is black. When I walk around in neighborhoods that are predominantly white, people be looking at me in their cars. Like, I've really had people who are security follow me around in golf carts when I'm in a friend's neighborhood. Follow me around in golf carts, ask me questions like, do you live here? Oh, okay, which building do you live in? And it's like, that's the black experience. And I feel like if you don't know the black experience, you're not black. In my eyes, I feel like if you're mixed race, and I know there's a lot of controversy, you're not black. I feel like there's a difference between mixed people and there's a difference between black people. And in my eyes, if you ain't black and you don't know the black experience and people call you out for saying nigga, you shouldn't be upset. Instead, you should understand where they're coming from. Now let me break it down even more. Let's go to white people. Now white people saying the N-word, I don't really give a fuck that much, but I see the outrage. I will always understand the outrage over who can say the N-word. I even see the outrage when people get upset at white people wearing braids or dreads because they're uplifted for saying it. And it's crazy because when this whole Gina Rodriguez situation happened, many men were giving her the black card. Many men weren't just giving her the nigga card, they were giving her the black card. Many men were sitting up here defending why she was saying the N-word and was like, she's Puerto Rican. Technically, Puerto Ricans are mixed with black. Stop.
So this is what we're doing? Really? Y'all really trying to cancel Gina Rodriguez right now? We're saying the N-word? Alright, first and foremost, she's Puerto Rican. Alright? That's first and foremost. Alright? Which makes her black. Okay? Whether Spanish people want to claim they black or not, we know the history, they black. So by the rules that whoever made up, that we as a black community use, she can say the word nigga. It wasn't like it had a ER on it or anything. She was really singing along to a song. So she could say the word nigga because by the rules that whoever made up, like I said, she's black, right?
Stop. Just because you're Puerto Rican or of Latin descent, just because you have some black in your ancestry from the 1900s or the 1800s, that does not make you black. If people don't look at you and see you as black, you're not black. If people most of the times ask you, oh, what is your mix? What is your mixture? You're not black. You ain't black. You ain't black because you don't think it's a black person. But there is times where sometimes light-skinned people who are fully black with two black parents get mistaken for mixed because of their lighter skin. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a difference between a light-skinned black person and there's a difference between a mixed light-skinned person. If you're a black light-skinned person like Ice-T, because Ice-T, that's a light-skinned black man. His mother's black, his father's black. Ice-T is a light-skinned black man. I look at Ice-T as black. He's light-skinned, but he's black. He has gray eyes, and he's lighter skinned, but that's a black man. Lisa Ray. Lisa Ray is a black woman. She has two black parents. She is a black woman, but she's light-skinned. Who else? Obama. I would consider Obama black, considering that, yes, he is biracial. And I will always say Obama's biracial. But at the same time, Obama to me looks like a black man. Let's be real, y'all. If y'all were to see Obama, if he never told us that he was biracial, some of y'all would have never known he was mixed. I didn't even know he was biracial until he made it clear that he was way back in the day. So I look at Obama as a black man. And don't get me wrong, there are instances where people who are biracial look more black. Like Tyler Lepley, or there's a lot of people who are basically biracial but don't look biracial. I know some people say biracial doesn't have a look. Trust me, y'all know what I mean. This is like if people look at you and can assume that you're not full blown black. Like, let's be real, y'all know the difference between somebody like Lupita, who has 2 black parents, and somebody like, for example, Alicia Keys, who has 1 black parent. Y'all know the difference between the 2 of them. Yes, one is lighter and one is darker, but y'all know the difference. For example, look at somebody like Maya Harris, the singer Maya, and Lisa Ray. Look at Lisa Ray's hair. Look at her nose. That is a black woman. But look at Maya. Maya is a biracial woman. Look at her hair. Look at her nose. Look at the thinness of her. Look at her lips. You can tell the difference between the 2. Yes, they're both light skinned, but I'm all about phenotypes. Phenotypes meaning your physical features. If you see an Asian person, you see their eyes, you see their jet black hair, you see their lips, you see their skin, you know an Asian person. That's phenotype. So I feel like if someone could look at your phenotypes and assume your race, that's your race, because race is a classification of your physical features. We can all look at someone and have an idea of what their race is. We might not be able to know for a fact, but we can have an idea of what their race is. Now, as far as Gina Rodriguez saying the N-word, I don't think it's right for people to give this girl the nigga pass, because she ain't black. She's not black. When y'all look at Gina, I don't see a black woman. I see a Latina. And Latina and Latino isn't a race. But when I see people like Gina, I see someone who's mixed. And most Puerto Ricans, yes, a lot of Puerto Ricans do have black ancestry. A lot of them look black. But a lot of Puerto Ricans also get their brown skin or their larger nose from the Native American side, from their indigenous side. So at the same time, y'all can't hear her with that whole, oh, nah, she black. Really? Because what about Shakira? Would you give Shakira the nigga card? Because Shakira looks like a European Latina, a white Latina. And I know y'all not going to give her the nigga card. So please stop with the nigga cards, who can say nigga. In my opinion, I feel like as soon as black people as a whole stop using the word, that's when it will stop being an issue. And I know some black people are going to say, because that's what somebody said in my last video, we shouldn't have to stop saying it because then that's going to set us back in slavery. And I'm like, look, that word should have never been a trend. That word shouldn't be a lie. That word shouldn't be a thing to this day. It's literally a ridiculous word. And a lot of us grew up using it. But at the same time, if we don't want people using it, we shouldn't be using it at all. Because they didn't start using it in a sense of endearment until we did. They was using it in a hateful way. But then when they saw how cool it was, all of a sudden they started using it. If Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Kunta Kinte, if all these people were still alive today, if I were to ask any of them, how do you feel about white people saying the N-word? They say it's fucked up. And if I were to ask them, how do you feel about white people saying, blacks saying that it's our word? They probably say, y'all niggas is fucking crazy. The N-word is not that deep in my opinion. I understand there's a double meaning behind it, yes. When it comes to being black, when the world sees you, they see a nigga. Or if you're a black woman or a black man, when they see you, they see a nigga. They see a person who is not associated with wealth, a descendant of an African, associated with hood, blackface, raggedy, nasty stereotypes. They see people who are related to monkeys because, you know, that's always been a thing back in the day. White people try to excuse their fucked up logic and their laws for we're similar to monkeys, so we're not any more human. Even though white people come from caves, but that's a whole other story. Even though white people come from the Caucasus Mountains, that's a whole other story. And a whole other video. I feel like, as a whole, we gotta stop using the word. And people got, especially black people, we gotta stop giving out these nigga cards. If y'all gonna give nigga cards out, y'all need to hold all your favorite rappers accountable. Cause what you call it? What's his name said it? 6ix9ine uses the word. And did y'all remember his response when people called him out for saying the N-word? This is what he said.
What do you think? Well, last time you was here, people, and I don't have a problem with it, but people seem to have a problem with you saying nigga. Because they say a Mexican should not be using the word
Bro,
nigga.
who gonna stop me? Who? Like, I can see those comments all the time. Who?
But the reason
like, why can I say it? Like, I can say it. Like, who gonna stop me?
But you made a distinction when you said two African Americans shooting at each other. So to me, you just using the word as a slang word.
No, look, because I can't say two niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it just makes it look like I'm talking that only black people shoot at each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just saying, hypothetically, if two African American minorities were shooting at each other, would it make the news? No, because it happens all the time. But if Tekashi 6ix9ine get caught pissing in the street, it's headlines. Tekashi 6ix9ine has no respect for the community and try to show his wee-wee to the world. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying, you know the distinction. So when you say niggas, what does that mean to you?
It's the way I grew up. My culture is, I grew up in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It's not like I'm saying, that's a dirty nigga over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's my vocabulary, is the way I talk.
He said that he didn't care. He said that he's still gonna use it. And what happens when? Look what Cardi said when she was being held accountable.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, it seems like it's something that is so normal, which is bad, but like it is what it is. And if it comes to the fact that she's Latina, you know, like, my parents, my father's side, we're Spanish, we're Hispanic and everything. But it's like, where do them Spanish people came from? Where them Latina people came from? They mixed people, you know. We mix with African, European, mulattic and everything. And it's just like, what am I considered? And at the end of the day, like, Latinos and Hispanic, they are considered a minority. Like, you think white folks see Hispanic and black people like, oh yeah, they're Hispanic, they're black. No, we are all considered the same to them. So it's like,
she said that she understands, but she's still gonna use it. But people are giving these people the nigga card because they're of Latin descent. When are we gonna stop doing that?
Once you said, because my skin is not.
But she's Spanish. But here's the thing. But people don't want
she's
to be
Spanish. She's not even white.
But people don't want to.
No. Her skin. Look.
But listen, what color?
Are you Spanish?
I'm sorry. What color is Fat Joe?
Are you Spanish?
I'm Puerto Rican and Italian.
Then you black. Period. I don't care.
I'm not black.
White people. First of all, Italians are almost not even white. To be honest, yeah. Italians really are. They almost black white people.
We're gonna need to stop doing that, and that's why many Latinos think that it's okay for them to say it. And honestly, if you're of Latin descent, you know Latinos have their own word that they use. Even South Africans have their own word that they use. I don't know why they don't use their words. And I don't go around saying, oh, what's good my spick, or what's good my wetback, or what's good my cracker, even though cracker's not a racial slur. That's another thing I want to touch on. So, if y'all remember, if y'all know, the dude he was a part of the Fugees, his name is Pras. He did an interview with TMZ, and he gave his thoughts about Gina Rodriguez saying the N-word. And he basically said she has a pass because she's, I guess because black people fuck with her. He said he has no problem with it. But he literally sat up there and said, nah, white people is a no-go. It's a no-go because y'all created racism.
I mean, I don't really know Gina. I mean, I know who she is, but I don't know her history or background. But, I mean, you have in the past certain Latin people who have what I call honorary passes, like Fat Joe, Cardi B, J-Lo, you know. I don't know what her contribution been to the culture to be able to get a pass like that. But, you know, when we make music, it's for people to sing along. Now, some people can't say certain words. I'm not sure if she's the one. I'm just not hearing about this controversy in the last couple of days. I think it's more about how embedded are you in the culture and your contribution to the culture, right?
But that's a slippery slope, though, isn't it? That you got to judge.
This is what I mean. I mean, like, first, let's take Fat Joe, for example. Fat Joe been doing hip-hop. He came out before we came out. He from the Bronx. He grew up around black people, Jamaicans, Haitians, all of that. So he's part of the culture. Now, there's certain people, just because you're Latina doesn't mean you can say it. That's what I'm saying. I don't know Gina's contribution and what she's done in the past.
What about a white guy that's done a lot for the culture?
No white guys. No white. You can't do that. No, we can't.
Even if they support the culture.
Nah, we can't do that. No. We're about 300 years away from that.
Interesting point. And it's crazy how white people always say, well, if you guys don't want to say in a word, that means you guys are racist towards us white people. Bitch. First of all, white people don't face racism. White people, every single white person that you know, I don't give a fuck if you're of Latin descent. Latin isn't a race. If you look white and you have the European standard of beauty, the nose, the hair, the skin color, if you look white, you have white privilege. If people could look at you and assume that you're white, you have white privilege. In my eyes, white people don't go through racism. And this isn't an opinion, this is a fact. If you're white, you don't face racism. And I know some people, because I know I dealt with a lot of controversy when I said that. White people was pressed. They was pressed. They was crying their little unseasoned chicken tears. And they was like, how can you say that? That's racist. You're a fucking, I forgot what they called me. What did they call me? I'm trying to remember that word. What's that word for someone who... Oh, pro-justice warrior. They called me a strange social justice warrior. They called me a coon social justice warrior. I'm like, bitch. First of all, if you're white, you don't face racism because the system of racism is built to benefit your ugly ass. No offense, but it's built to benefit y'all. So y'all don't face racism. Y'all may face people being prejudiced because there are incidents where people think that, you know, when they see a white person, that white person is going to treat them like shit or think that they're better than them, when in reality not all white people think like that. Y'all can face prejudiced behavior, but y'all don't face racism. Racism is systematic power. And when it comes to black people being racist towards white people, that's just not a thing. The only people that face racism are obviously everybody except for white people. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Anyways, so the system is built to benefit you. Like, it's like when it comes to white people, the system is built for y'all to succeed. So how do y'all, explain to me, how do y'all deal with racism? Because I remember one white person trying to tell me, well, I do, because when I was in school, I'm Latina, and they used to call me, you know, gringa or snowflake. And I'm like, bitch, those are not racial slurs. There is no history behind those words. You're uplifted in society. So explain to me how a word affects you when you're uplifted in society. Where do you think colorism comes from? Where do you think white supremacy comes from? They don't call it white supremacy for nothing. These words, white supremacy, colorism, European standard of beauty, these words are a thing because you don't face oppression. And because you don't face oppression as a white person, you don't know how it's like. As a white person, let me ask you a question. For all my white people out there, have you ever in your life felt scared to walk past police or been scared to walk in a room because of your skin color? Have you ever been scared to be judged because of your skin color? Have people ever treated you differently because of your skin color? Have you ever walked into a store and had the cashier look at you funny, like barely make eye contact with you because you're a person of color? No, you have not. So you don't know how that feels. So because you don't know how that feels, you don't know what it's like to face racism. So don't sit up here and try to throw out the whole, well, we experience racism too. No, bitch, you fucking don't. Your cracker ancestors invented that. And I know white people hate being associated with the stigma because being white is a very controversial thing. People hate when you bring up white because they're just like, oh my god, why am I being blamed for these things? And it's like, bitch, I didn't create this world. I just live in it. I didn't fucking make the rules, bitch. I just play the game. In reality, if you're white, you don't face the same oppression as someone who is of indigenous or black descent or someone who is of Asian descent. Like, you don't face criticism for your race. You just don't, because the system has always been built. Why do you think people are skin bleaching? People are obsessed with the European standard. Why do you think people are getting nose jobs? Because people want to get thinner, smaller noses, because in America, or not even in America, other parts of the world where white people colonize them, like South Africa. Like, colorism is really big in South Africa. Racism is big in South Africa. A lot of parts in Africa don't experience too much racism, but there's definitely a lot of racism in all of Africa, or all over the world. Wherever there was colonization, there's racism. There's the European standard of beauty, all that. Because at the end of the day, it's always been built to uplift y'all. So I don't understand why white people think that they're oppressed. And it's weird because oppression all of a sudden is a trend. Everybody wants to be fucking black and white people want to be oppressed. Well, yeah, well, Jews were slaves too. Bitch. Go season your food. Okay? You've always been lifted. And in my eyes, white people are seen as, they're associated with loyalty. When a black woman walks in a room, when she's ready to do a job interview, she has to straighten her hair. She has to make sure she talks very proper. Y'all ever seen the way people's face light up whenever a black woman articulates herself correctly? Oh wow, you don't talk like most black girls. Or wow, you're not like most black people. So you see what I mean? Blackness, or anybody of color, is associated with dirt or poorness. It's associated with anything that's less than. When you see a white person articulating themselves, they're like, ah. Because you know how many times people have told me when I was in school, oh, you talk like a white person. I would have thought you were white if you were on the phone. What the fuck does that mean? So because I'm black, I can't articulate myself correctly? So this is what I mean by white supremacy and white people not facing racism. Because white people don't have these issues. No one says, oh, you talk a lot proper than most white people. You don't face these issues. White women don't even hear people tell them, "Oh, you're pretty for most white girls." Like, listen to how that sounds. That sounds ridiculous because you don't even hear it. So, like I said, I know I'm escalating out of control, but I have to make this clear. When it comes to Gina saying the N-word, y'all can even keep the same energy with everybody else. Cardi B not black. Lil Pump not black. 6ix9ine not black, okay? And since Lil Pump, Cardi B, all these rappers ain't black and they're saying the N-word, Fat Joe isn't black. Look at his parents. Not black. These are not black people. And they say the N-word all the time. And I know the way it is, a lot of people grew up on the East Coast because it's really big on the East Coast and in New York and in New Jersey and up north for people who are of Latin descent say the N-word all the time. It's big up there. And I spoke to one of my friends, and she lives up north. She lives in Jersey. She told me, to her, she sees Puerto Ricans as black. We look at them as one of us. And I'm like, well, that's not the case. Because let's be realistic. Latinos definitely face a lot of horrible racism, but blacks face 10 times more racism than they do. So when it comes to the N-word and who can use it and the oppression behind it, I feel like anyone can use it, in my opinion, because I feel like it's just a word that we give way too much power to. And the mainstream media, especially rappers, play a big role on why this word is so popular. But at the same time, this word should have never had so much power. It had power back in the day when it was first like used to degrade people, but it should have never carried over to music. And that's why most people say it. Most people say it because their favorite rapper says it. And until we hold rappers accountable, we shouldn't be holding white people accountable for saying it. In my opinion, I feel like it's perfectly fine for people to criticize white people, and I don't think it's okay for white people to get upset when they're called out. Like, it's annoying. I'm done with my crab legs. And I want to make it clear that as far as Gina, she's trash. She's been trash. Y'all didn't hear what she said? When the black man was interviewing Yara Shahidi, and he said that Yara Shahidi is influential to black women. And the crazy part is, Yara Shahidi is actually biracial, but when I see Yara Shahidi, I see a black person because she mainly inherited her mom's genes because her mother's a black woman. So a lot of black women see people like Yara Shahidi with the brown skin and the 4C hair, and they say, wow, like, there's hope. Like, girls that look like me are getting a shot, they're getting a chance. So I see it like this. Gina Rodriguez is trash. She's used the N-word before in skits.
Calm down. Did you just say calm down? Take a lap.
What? You heard me. I said take a lap, nigga. Take a lap. Come on, baby. Take a lap.
Voodoo. I could do what you do. Believe me. Niggas give me heebie-jeebies.
Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing a quick demonstration of how easy it is to not say the N-word when you're listening to your favorite rap songs. It's actually something I've kind of mastered, and I believe in all of you, and I think you can do it too.
I'm the system with you, the hidden net, while I'm taking my game and collecting them checks. Got all your sex, it's triple rated. You say you ain't eat it, you ate it, so when the rock don't stop, can't be dropping no drawers. To the as you think got you in yours. Yeah, little always running their mouth, while the better off and to yacht, or you.
I'm sure she's still gonna use it afterwards, after that bullshit apology. People still gonna defend her, and people still gonna feel the need to pass out nigga cards to certain people. It's like, stop with this whole black card. Just because somebody's mixed with black, that don't mean they get to say the N. Just because somebody's tan, they don't mean they get to say the N. Just being mixed with black and having a little bit of black in you don't make you black. Because I couldn't dare walk around and saying, oh yeah, I'm Caucasian. Because I know a lot of people have this mindset of, well, yeah, exactly. Mixed people are black. They're black and white, or they're black and so and so, or they're black and this, or so and so and so and so. And it's like, if you don't look black, you're not black. That's how I see it. I'm a phenotype person, and that's how the world looks at you. If you don't exist as a black person, you're not black. And also another thing, when it comes to, so yeah, and honestly, back on the subject of who's black enough to say it, I see it like this. Back then, if this was the 1920s, Gina Rodriguez and none of these black men would be giving Gina Rodriguez the black card. Because I would have this mentality of, well, back in the day, they would have been sitting in the back of the bus with us. And I'm like, okay, great. But they wouldn't have been sitting in the back with us by choice. They would have been sitting in the back with us because of this whole one drop rule. People need to stop promoting this one drop rule. So if you guys don't know what the one drop rule is, I say it all the time. I've explained it numerous times in previous videos. Please go watch my videos on Afro-Latinos, and please go watch my video on Evelyn Lozada. There's a lot to talk about. But as far as the one drop rule, people are promoting it by saying mixed people are black. Mixed people are mixed, black people are black, white people are black, Asians are Asians. And as far as the Latin community, some of them are a combination of all races, or some of them are a combination of the indigenous race and the black race. Some of them are literally just straight up white and look white. Like blonde hair, blue eyes, all that. So, in my opinion, when it comes to this one drop rule that people keep promoting, it stems from the fact that white people wanted to segregate mixed people. So the one drop rule was created by a whole bunch of white supremacists, fat fucks, who literally was just like, okay, you know what? If you have any black in you and it's visible, you're black. But in reality, all of us have a drop of something in us. But that doesn't mean I could walk around saying I'm white. I did an ancestry test. A lot of my ancestry traced back to Europe. I had 4% European in me. 4% of that was of a white ancestry. But can I walk around saying that I'm white too? If mixed people are going to sit up here and say that they're black, why can't y'all sit up here and say that y'all white? I'm just saying. At the end of the day, I have no issue with mixed people identifying with a culture they connect with. I respect that, I understand it. Because some people who are mixed connect with one culture more than the other one. Like, I know a lot of people who say they grew up with black mothers or black fathers, and they connect with that culture more due to the food, who they came up with, who they grew up around, and who they date. I understand that. But if you're going to claim one race, you have to claim all the other races and all the other cultures you grew up around. Because if one parent is this, great. But if the other parent is this, you can't just shut that out, because that's a big part of who you are and where you get your features from. So I have two black parents. Both my parents are of African and of Haitian descent. So I'm black. The world sees me as black. So when I came out with the nose, the lips, the hair, I'm a black man. So at the same time, you wouldn't call a strawberry banana smoothie a banana smoothie, right? You would call it a strawberry banana smoothie. I'm just saying. So yeah, the N-word, it's a controversial word. It's a shit word. None of us should really be using it. I'm still going to use it. Some of y'all probably still going to use it anyways. And when it comes to the N-word, we got to keep the same energy. In conclusion, keep the same energy with Cardi B, Lil Pump, 6ix9ine, Fat Joe. Who else says the fucking word? Stitches. Who else says the fucking word? So many white people, so many people who aren't even white use the word. Like, if you're not a black person and you get held accountable or called out for using the word, you deserve to be called out. You deserve to get your fucking ass beat if you're using the word and people call you out about it. You have to understand that there's a double meaning behind when you say it, because you're not seen in the world as a nigga. People want the rhythm of black people, but they don't want the blues. And I'm sure a lot of y'all gonna comment that. People want the rhythm, but they don't want the blues. You want the word, you want the culture, y'all want the grills, y'all want the hoop earrings, the cornrows. Like non-black people want they want the grills, they want the DJing, they want the break dancing, they want country music. Yes, black people created country music. They want rock, they want blues, R&B. Like, y'all want all these things that black people have created and popularized, but y'all just don't like it on black people. Y'all love black cultures. A lot of y'all, not all white people or not all non-black people, but some of y'all love black culture. Y'all love blackness, but y'all don't like black people. Y'all don't stick up for black people when they get shot by the cops. Y'all don't speak on black issues, but y'all want to say the N-word. I got to a point where I just don't care who the fuck says it anymore, because I feel like people don't keep the same energy, and people keep passing around nigga cards. If you're one of those people who don't pass around nigga cards, great, good for you. But in my opinion, if you use the word, then you're just as bad as the people you're just as bad as the rappers who have popularized it. You made it a trend to say it. So yeah, that's all I really got to say. Almond milk. No one should be saying it, but if black people do decide to say it, and non-black people decide to say it, you need to be held accountable if you're not black. That's just it, and I'm done talking. There's gonna be a lot of controversy in this comment section, but I'm willing to hear what the fuck y'all gotta say. Please comment what y'all think and how y'all view the word. Please let me know what y'all think about this whole giving nigga cards to Latinos and Latinas. But like I said, if you don't exist as a black person and people call you out, you need to take accountability and understand that what you're doing is offending people. And if you don't care if you offend people, great, perfect. But hey, yeah, I'm out. Some of y'all probably gonna drag me in the comments, but I gotta go. I'm tired as fuck. I'm gonna take my almond to the fucking bed, and I'm tired. Okay, bye. Turn him inside out. I've been meaning you. You're all I need. 'Cause your smile, your cry, I can't deny it. Baby, inside with my heart beat. Is that you and me? Live in a me. Your love is the one in the mirror. Goes on and on and on. You feel it's the better. It goes all day long. Your love is the one in the mirror. Your love, it goes on and on and on. You feel it's the better. It goes all day long. Please comment on what song I should see next. Let me know your thoughts. And yeah.